So, at a time when Xbox fans are reeling in the success of Fallout 4 being the best selling game in Europe, outshining everything from Helldivers to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to absolutely anything PlayStation has on offer, Steam blowing out completely with Fallout 4 having 108,000 in game at one point concurrent users. Really healthy numbers. Not too shabby for a Fallout 4, riding off the success of the TV show. We're not even going to be discussing the PS5 Pro, which might actually hit 40 FPS on CPU bottlenecked games. So games like GTA 6 and Marvel's 1943 running at 60 FPS is a foregone dream conclusion that's just not going to happen. No, what we're going to be talking about today isn't even the fact that Little Big Planet 3 is no longer with us in an online form. Their online servers since January were having problems, and instead of fixing the problem, Sony does what it does best and just decided that it's going to cut its ties, cut its losses, no longer invest, and just turn around and say, right, all the online stuff that you've created over the years is now gone. Gone with the wind, gone to the ether, return to Mother Earth. No, what we're talking about is something completely different. No, what we're talking about today is the way the PlayStation community have completely and utterly lost their minds. We are talking about Sony having snuck in their new overlays with trophies and crossplay and everything you would expect them to be doing, moving closer to that day and date PC with Ghost of Tsushima on PC. Now, of course, this hasn't gone down lightly, but we've been saying all along that the future is here. The future is PC. And all this time that PlayStation owners have turned around and were laughing at Xbox and saying they don't need to do that, but we've been telling them that the numbers don't add up when it comes to PlayStation. Those high expenditures are going to require change. And with Hiroki Totoki in charge, well, we can obviously tell that all he cares about is profits. Damned be loyal consumer bases who clearly aren't buying enough games anyway. I mean, some of the bigger influencers from PlayStation have absolutely lost their minds, choosing to potentially abandon the platform altogether.
You see the dark path this leads? That's why if Sony goes day and date, the reason why I'm not gonna PlayStation, not because I'm butthurt or whatever, is because I don't want to get fucked. Why would I buy a PlayStation knowing what they're gonna do? I get everything, plus better versions, plus free multiplayer. I don't get screwed over in any way. And that's exactly what happens on Xbox the moment they went day and date. You have to pay for Gears on Xbox, but that same game, which runs much better, looks much better, and you can play with a keyboard if you choose to, is free. And you still play with the Xbox guys. And I'm like, yo, I see the message on the wall, bro.
Now, if you haven't played any PlayStation games yet on PC, they are insane. The company that ports them is this group called Nixxes. They are the best. PlayStation games on PC run at 4K 60 FPS if you've got a good rig. A lot of times the HDR, the graphics, I mean, it is insane. I love my PlayStation 5, but the PS5 games on PC, extra incredible.
Like, how can it make sense that you're paying extra money to the platform holder and get worse? Across everything, literally. The game, you get the worst version. And you have to pay extra just to play a portion of it online. That's not cool. You see what I'm saying?
Could you imagine the likes of Puerto Rock or Dreamcast guy actually no longer having a PlayStation? It's inconceivable. But there is one guy out there who is standing firm, standing tall, standing absolutely stalwart. I mean, even MBG has caved in and knows that regardless of how this actually works out, it's going to happen. The signs are there, the paths are there. Whether it's via their own launcher or through integration to Steam entirely, it's going to happen, and the journey to full PC day and date has started. And they are only now realizing the inevitable is in sight. But all this time, they were laughing at Xbox and taking the mick out of Xbox, saying that this is not the way and this is what's ruined Xbox. But now, the tables have turned. And they are now following Xbox. Microsoft knew that the console market wasn't growing as much as it needed to, except for Nibs ChatGPT. He is still going to be arguing that it's growing exponentially 500% year on year. But there is even one other person that's even more stalwart than ChatGPT, and that is, of course, our good old buddy, Reforge Gaming. And I have to say, his damage controlling of this whole situation is unbelievable. Just listen to this.
This guy Jackknife says, deal breakers day and date. If they go day and date, I'm not buying their next console. I've been with PlayStation from the jump, but this is pushing me away. I'm not buying the $70 version on PlayStation when I can play the superior version day and date on PC, probably cheaper too. Not if they do their own launcher. They will still get your money, and it will still be $70. That's the kicker right there. You can't run away from it.
I mean, my dude has found a way to turn around and accept that games are going to come day and date to PC, but doesn't care that they're coming to PC, which basically makes them third party, and is going to say it's okay because it's coming to a PlayStation launcher day one on PC.
If you want to play Spider-Man 3 day one and you're like, well, I'm going to go to PC where it's cheaper. No, if you buy it through their launcher, it's going to be $70.
My dude is still championing £70 games like it's no tomorrow, taking that as a win for consumers going to PC with the games going to be. Like, he's kind of accepted that the games are going day and date, but he's kind of relishing and cheering on the fact that the games are going to be $70 a piece on the PS launcher, if there is one. I mean, it actually gets worse, right? He actually then starts to champion the fact that Spider-Man 3 is going to be broken down into 2 games and sold at $50 a piece. Now, if that was an Xbox thing, can you imagine the outcry that would be happening? Can you imagine the amount of eruptions from social media? Xbox splitting a game in half to double dip? But when it comes to Spider-Man, when it comes to a PlayStation game, my dude damage controls like there's no other. Just hear it out.
You know, well, Spider-Man 3 is actually potentially going to be broken into 2 parts, and it's going to be $50 for each part. But still, like, you get the point that I'm making.
I mean, at this point in time, how much more of a pony can you actually get? Everyone from Marlon Gaming, MBG, Puerto Rock has accepted their fate. Even Dreamcast guy has accepted their fate. But my dude here is the last bastion of damage controlling defense. But it gets worse, right? It gets worse. Because all this time right now, they have been damage controlling while Xbox has had pretty much all their games completely taking over the PlayStation community. So a recent report has shown that Xbox has completely dominated the top 25 games played by PlayStation players. So at a time where they've been talking about Rise of the Ramen, we're looking at Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers, all of these bangers that they're saying, clearly none of them are being bought and they're all buying Xbox games. I mean, the writing is on the wall. They can sugarcoat it however they want, and all they're saying right now with damage control is, hey, look, you're going third party. This is proof of you going third party. But just think about it for a second, folks. Think about it for a second. As a PlayStation gamer, you're paying $70 for a game, full price, $40 to $70 for a game, or you could pay a subscription fee and get all of those games day and date via Game Pass. Why would you go and spend that much more money since all you're playing is Xbox games over there? And once PlayStation goes day and date to PC, what need will you have for that box? Now, obviously, Reforge is saying you're still going to pay $70. I don't see that for a split second, considering games on Steam are already discounted compared to their counterpart on console. The amount of damage controlling here is surreal. PlayStation fans are in complete disarray. They have finally accepted that it is over. It is happening. It is going to be a transition for them. It is going to be crazy. But this whole overlay situation is just the first step in integrating that PlayStation launcher on PC. If it even does come to that, Sony could easily just integrate that PlayStation launcher through a PlayStation sign-in to all of their games on Steam and just continue to funnel it that way, because that makes the most sense. At the end of the day, PC gamers are reluctant to use another launcher outside of Steam. And we've seen with amazing games like Alan Wake 2 on the Epic Games Store, which could have done so much better had it had been on Steam, where people just refuse to buy it and are prepared to wait a year or two until it actually appears on Steam, if it ever does. If it doesn't, they just won't play it. So Sony, even if they do release their launcher, you're going through a huge gamble. They're going to have to offer huge incentives to get people to even try and go over to that platform. But Reforge here says that they have the games, they have the content, and people on PC will flock in troves to come over and play it on the PlayStation launcher. All I'm saying is, right now, the stables are not what they used to be. And for all those people like King Thrash who are saying the whole slate, well, it looks like the whole slate is going to PC. And for all of those that are wondering, Xbox is going to get Steam at some point. At least that's what the indication is. So if you have an Xbox console, or at least the next generation one that is supposedly coming with PC launcher integration, you're going to have the whole slate of PlayStation and PC and Xbox under one roof. Who's winning now? You let me know in the comment section below. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release, and I will see you in the next one. The stables are in disarray. They don't know which way to turn. They've run amok, and right now they're looking for ways to damage control like there is no other. But at the end of the day, it's written in plain English. It's written in plain view. They are going day and date to PC, and this is just the beginning. And those that are still in denial, well, when the radicality actually hits, it's going to be such a rude awakening that nothing is going to save them from that mental break. Alright folks, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend. Peace out.